This is the practice test for PowerPoint. The file is PowerPoint practicetest.pptx, and save it on your desktop with a name, with your name tacked on the end basically. And these are the instructions. So for all slides, change the theme to Ion. Okay, so let's flip over. And our themes are on the Design tab, and one of them is named Ion, and they're not labeled until you pause the mouse over it. And fortunately, Ion is one of the first ones. So that will select a theme, and all of our slides will have the green gradient background with this little red ribbon up here on the top right. And I'm not interested in PowerPoint's design ideas, so I'm going to close that window. And now, item number 2 is insert a title slide at the top of your document, and the title should be Heal and Construction. The subtitle should be your name. So we got to go to the top of the document here, and I'm just going to click right above the first one, and then I'm going to go to Home. It seems like it ought to be on the Insert tab, but it's not. And so I want to put in a new slide, and it's supposed to be a title slide, and the title is Heal and Construction. And the subtitle is your name or my name. Okay. And add a footer to all slides except the title slide. Make the slide numbers visible in the footer. So add a footer to all. So that's going to be on Insert, just like it is in Word. Header and footer. And I want the slide number to be visible. Didn't say do anything else. It did say don't show it on the title slide, I think. And apply to all. It did not say that. On slide 1, add your name to the author notes. Let's go over and put our name on the author notes. These are down here. If they're not visible, there's a button down here in the lower right that will, hide them or show them for you. And I need to go back to my Insert and Header and Footer and turn off Don't Show on Title Slide. Apply that to all, and now I should see. Let's try that again. Turn slide number off, apparently, maybe because I was on the title slide. So now I got my slide numbers in there. Let's go back over to our instructions and change the slide layout to To Content on slide 2, and we want to find a construction image. So let's flip back over. And slide number 2 now, I want to change the layout, and that's going to be right here on my Home tab. And I want To Content. And then I want to go look for a picture. So I want to insert a construction picture. Down here I've got some options, but I want to go online. So I'm going to go to my Insert tab up here, choose Pictures, and choose Online Pictures. And let's do construction. Hit Enter. And let's turn on a filter here, and I'm going to look for clip art this time, see what they've got for clip art. And okay, we've got some options here, so let's just pick the first one. I'm going to click on it, choose Insert, and it will get inserted into my slideshow. And it's also got some attribution information down here, and I'm going to delete that. Let's flip back over to our instructions. And so I've inserted it. Then I want to go to slide 3, and I want to increase the indent level for 2, 4, 6, and 8 on the bulleted list. So let's go to slide 3. Slide 3, and actually on this construction picture over here, I'm going to center it inverted. So I'm going to go to my picture formatting up here, and one of my align options is Align Middle, and that will align it halfway between the top and the bottom of the slide. Now I can go to slide number 3, and I want bullet item 2 to be indent. All I got to do is hit Tab. You can also go up here and click the Increase Indent. and they do the same thing. Okay, that was fairly easy. Now apply the bounce animation to the bulleted list. So let's select the whole list first before we start. And we've got animations. And one of them is called bounce, and that happens to be visible up here on the top. So let's go ahead and choose that, and it'll give us a little preview of what bounce is going to look like. Okay, we're done with slide 3. Now let's go to slide 4, and we want some smart art and the upward arrow, and we want the data from slide 3. Okay, so smart art, upward arrow. So we're going to insert smart art, and it says it's in the process group, so that'll narrow down our searching a little bit. And I'm looking for an upward arrow, and that's the name of it right there. Click on OK. And it says to take the data from slide number 3. So I'm going to take the data from slide number 3 here, just do a Control-C. And it's already, indented for me, so that will actually show up when I go over here and insert my data. So select the smart art, and then click on the little arrow on the left side and go over here and paste in what you have. And because every other item was indented here, so it's subordinate to the one above it, it shows up like that over here. Notice the indented text over here is smaller, and it's below the items that are above it. So the easy way to get your stuff in here, I think, is just to go over here, and you can format it by indenting if you want something to be subordinate, and then when you're done, you can just click on the arrow. So let's flip back over to Word here and see what we're going to do next. So set the colors to Colored Fill Accent 1, and then 3D Cartoon. So the colors on the Smart Art, let's go to Smart Art Design, and I think it said, what's that one? Colorful Accent Colors. Let me flip back over and see what it said. It said Colored Fill Accent 1. So let's try, see if we can find Colored Fill. Colored Fill Accent 1, there it is. Be nice if they were all labeled individually, but they're not. And then we want to go up here and we want to choose one of the 3D ones, and we want the one called Cartoon, and it's that one right there. Okay. So that takes care of slide 4. On slide 5, we want to center the text in the table both vertically and horizontally. Okay, so the text within the table, which would be, I think we can do all of these, and we can go to our table layout, and we can tell it that we want everything centered vertically, and we want everything centered horizontally. Apply the table style, medium style 2, accent 5. Okay, so medium style 2, we want our table. So medium style 1, style 2, yes, style 2, accent 5. Is that's accent 4, accent 5. Medium style 2, accent 5. So that's the one we want. So on slide 5, we want the rounded cell bevel effect. So let's flip back over here. And here are our table effects. I'm on the table design, and here's the effects button. And we want a cell bevel. We want the one called rounded, which happens to be the first one. So it gives us rounded edges. Now let's go back, and now we're on slide 6. We want a 2D clustered column chart. 2D clustered column chart. So I want to use the data that's here and create a chart from it. Okay. Let's take the text that is there, and let's copy that, don't think we can directly make it into a table or into a chart, although we can certainly try. Let's click on OK, see if it'll take our data that we have selected. And it's pulling up Excel right now. And it does not, it gives us this dummy data. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to get rid of this dummy chart. And I'm going to select this data. And I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. Okay, so I just did a Control-C to copy it to the clipboard. Now I'm going to insert a chart. And we'll do clustered column chart. And click on OK. And it pulls up Excel. We're actually using Excel when we do this. And it works pretty much the same way. So I'm going to put my data right here, I think. And because my numbers were big, my text was big, let me make this bigger so we can see what's going on here. Okay, and the text was also white. So let's go here and see if we can. No, we can't change our font color to white. Can we? No. So we are back in Excel. And now let's try to make it a different color. Okay, so now we can see the text anyway. Let's make it black instead. Everything went into columns A and B. And I don't want this stuff over here in columns C and D anymore, but it will try to chart that until I move this little corner here over. So now it is, and I don't want category 4 either, so I have to move it, come on. So I have to move it up. And there's a corner. It's not very big, but this stuff here now is not going to be selected. I don't necessarily need to delete it, but I think I will anyway. And same thing with this row down here. I'm going to delete it. And now the only question is, are we going to get is this going to pop up someplace on the chart? And I'm not sure if it will or not. We can go ahead and close out of here now. And here is our chart. And we can get rid of the old stuff. Let me just drag this out of the way. So it did get the data. And I'm going to delete what was there before. And there's another text box that pops up. I'm going to delete that one as well. So Series 1 did come up here. And I don't know if it said anything about a title, but certainly Series 1 does not help us at all. So we'll get rid of that. And now we'll flip back over to Word. We want the text millions of dollars to the vertical axis label. We want the major unit to be 1. Chart title should be budget, and the style should be style 1. So millions of dollars, units of 1, budget, and style 1. Let's see if I can remember all that. So I want to add an axis title, and the one I want to add is vertical. And I can just start typing now. Millions of dollars. And I want my units over here to be 1s instead of 0.5s. So I want to, I think I want to format major grid lines here. And I do not. Let's go here and format axis instead. And that's where it is. Okay, so I want my major unit to be 1. And there we go. And it's not doing a minor unit now, so I don't have to worry about that. So that takes care of those two things. I also need to change the title, and I think I need to apply a style to it as well. So the title should be budget, and it should be style 1. So let's go to the title here. Let's add a title. And it needs to be budget. Which is a little bit redundant with this up here. And then style 1. So I need to go to my chart design and find out style 1 is probably the first one here, and it is. And I don't know if much changed when I did that or not, but I've got style 1 selected. And then the last thing it says to do is to apply a transition. And I want the zoom transition on this. So let's, I'll go back up to slide 1 here. And my transitions are here. And I'm looking for zoom. And there it is right there. And I also want to make sure I apply that to all of the slides. I think by default it just applies to the one that you're on. So you got to click on Apply to All over here. And now if I go and preview my slideshow, that should zoom in for me. And I've got multiple monitors here, so it's looking a little different than it would in the actual slideshow. So this is what the presenter would see, and what the viewers would see is actually this would cover their entire screen. So that takes care of the PowerPoint practice test.